Hey everyone, today I've got The Turning movie review. A woman is hired to watch over two children in a house where things may go bump in the night. Wait, haven't I seen this type of movie before? So as far as the story goes, I swear to God, this year so far has not been kind to horror movies. I already had issues with the Grudge remake, and now this movie. But then again, January releases tend to not bode so well, so I didn't have a lot of high hopes for this movie to begin with. And this movie is based off of the Turn of the Screw novel. I don't know if you guys have read it, I certainly didn't, so I was kind of in for a pleasant surprise with what I was possibly going to be seeing, where it starts off with this person that's running away from something. I mean, they don't really show anything, so, you know, it's all up in the air of what was all happening. But once we actually see the location of this one house, I'm worried what could be around potentially every corner, because I think that the trailers that I had seen so far with this movie spoiled a lot of the scares already to come. So I just said, okay, this might end up sucking. But the overall scope and scale of this story seemed simple, yet had so many parts to it, all weaved into something that came off surprising at times. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily a good thing, because it wasn't. However, as far as the casting goes, I was really shocked at how decent this cast actually was for a really crappy horror movie. You've got Mackenzie Davis, who's in the lead, and I was already worried when I saw her in Terminator Dark Fate, thinking, what is her next project gonna be? Is that gonna suck like that movie did? And this one, her role, I thought, like, she did a decent job with what she had to go with, but it still wasn't good enough. And I'm not saying her acting was terrible, I'm saying every situation that she put herself in, or was put in, was terrible. And then you've got the two kids in this movie. Brooklyn Prince, who I loved in The Florida Project, was probably the cutest little girl ever, with something kind of off about her. And it had me questioning why this was throughout the entire movie. And I thought she did an excellent job in this movie, as well as Finn Wolfhard, who I would say his character made me love to hate him, but also hate to love him at the same time. I mean, oh my god, he like irritated me so much. He gave me heart palpitations at one point. I mean, I almost at one point wanted to punch him in the face. I mean, he was just so intense in his role as well. The things that I liked about this movie was that while it may not be the best horror movie around, it did have the look and the feel and the atmosphere of a horror movie with the set design, and it kind of and the inside of the house kind of reminded me of the movie The Others. And if you haven't seen that movie with Nicole Kidman, check it out. I absolutely love it to this day, even though I know what happens at the end of it every single time. This movie definitely had that darkness and tone to it, so it had something going for it. However, the things that I didn't really like about this movie was that the so-called scares were not scary one bit. It didn't help that I was spoiled in the trailers with some of the scenes that came off laughable at one point and even cheesy and cliche. So I was like, really? This did not scare me one bit. Sometimes there were some slow-moving scenes and others were just plain boring. I didn't want to be bored. I wanted to know what was going to happen in the end, even though the only way to resolve any of these scary bits was to meticulously place all these jump scares. And I'm like, really? It didn't even look like it knew what direction it wanted to go in. And things most of the time happen without proper explanation. And I think that's one of the things that definitely irritated me about this movie the most. I wanted to find out what some things were, you know, happening, and I'm left scratching my head by the end of it, because it literally did not make sense to me whatsoever. So it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth after watching this movie. So overall, I would say that I just literally got fed up watching this movie. I am really disappointed in how it turned out, but quite frankly, I'm not surprised at all. So I'm kind of on the fence about recommending it to you guys. I don't know if you'd be interested in seeing a movie like this, but I'd say kind of skip it altogether. So I would give this a half heart on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of The Turning. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Trail Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.